Brian. I'm the founder and director of Liberty Camp USA, and it's hard for me to say no. So I guess it's impossible. So the kids are all here for that reason, and I'm very, very grateful, because the fact is, number one, you've shared your precious gift with us, and number two, what's made this the most precious event is their great attitude, cooperation, and willingness to learn. So, thank you. So, with me this year, we have 23 teens. We've never had that many before, and I'm certain that the Lord looked down and thought, whew, she's got a lot of little ones. We better send some more helpers. This is the 10th year that we are on this property doing this camp. We also have a camp now in Lake County, and by the end of tomorrow, or today I should say, we will have touched the lives of nearly 1,500 children. Now, thank you. I am often asked if God is done with America. And I say no, because God would never have allowed 1,500 children to know the greatness of this land and then taken it away from them. That's right. So I know that we have a future ahead of us, and these youngsters know that they are here for such a time as this, and that they have a role to play to keep this country free. Now, we have flown the British flag all week, and it's been painful to see it flying in the sky. So, color guard, please come forward. Color guard, put up those stars and stripes. Take down that British flag. We will send that back to England. We have 50 stars up there instead of our 13 colonies. Our goal, our mission, was dictated by George Washington when he said that there is no greater responsibility than to teach the future guardians of liberty about this country, the founding documents, and their sacrifices. And your children have learned that this week. They did not have to memorize it. They lived it, they enjoyed it, and they will remember it. It's just like those little cadences that you heard them saying when they came in. Every day there was a new cadence. Every day they competed for the team flag, and every day it's in their brain, probably until their final days. But I want you to notice that we have a young time traveler holding the camp flag. He was selected by a number of us because of his outstanding contributions and attitude. So, Sebastian, we thank you. I want to just briefly tell you about some of the things the kids learned. It's really important. They always sit at the feet of those big known heroes, the Washingtons, Jeffersons, Madisons, etc. Those are the known heroes that are still, luckily, even Ben Franklin is still in some of our history books. And then there are those that they've chosen to take out. Representing Nathaniel Greene is here as a member of our Continental Army. Swamp Fox, the Brigadier General, Francis Marion, which is why we have Marion, Ohio, and Marion College. They've long time been out of our history books. But he had a message for the kids that's really important. Here he was, a brigadier general, titles, he could have had a fanciest uniform, a great hat, and instead he ran through the swamp with a small group of guys and fought against the British all up the Carolinas. He told the kids it was not about the vanity of titles and uniform. It was about the goal. And they learned that the goal is what's most important for them to be seeking. And then every year we have an unknown hero. And this is one that I would probably put money on that most of you have never heard of. A young man, 19 years old, by the name of Tim Murphy. The Marquis knows about him because he was at the Battle of Saratoga with Tim Murphy. Tim Murphy was getting ready to fight the British, and so he crawled up into a tree, expecting the troops to come out. Britain was so convinced that they were going to roll over America that the general came out first, running on his horse. And Tim Murphy, with his double long Pennsylvania rifle, at 900 feet, took out that general. It was, as I defined to the kids, it wasn't a great shot. It wasn't even a special shot. It was a miraculous shot. And we often talk about miracles that happened in saving this country. So, with that battle being won, this Battle of Saratoga, our friend, the Marquis de Lafayette, was able to get the rest of his country to come and join us, which was critical in winning Yorktown. But again, nobody knows about Tim Murphy. And why do we include him? Because we don't have here in this line necessarily a George Washington or Thomas Jefferson, but I bet we're going to get some Tim Murphys. I bet we're going to get some great patriots. Yesterday, each one of these young children and these teens came before me, raised their right hand, and recited their pledge to be a patriot. And then they signed their own copy of the Declaration of Independence with quill and ink. Even our little ones just going in to second grade learned to sign their name in cursive because I told them that if they didn't, the horse thieves were going to come and take away their property. So that was enough motivation for them. But they learned through all of this that they have a responsibility. God has a plan for them. And every day, I hold this triangle up. Excuse me. So let's test the kids a little bit and just see how they did with this. Time travelers. The one corner of the triangle represents what? Faith. That's right, faith. The other corner of the triangle represents what? Virtue! To be a righteous country with morals, we must have virtue. You're right. And if we get faith and virtue, what does that give us? Liberty! And where does liberty come from? God! Not from government? No. But freedom is different than liberty. It requires action. It takes patriots to do their responsibility. So I'm going to ask you, whose job is it to keep America free? They know it's their job. They know that they have a responsibility to keep this country free. And that's the most important lesson that they could learn. Let me put this down. In this camp, we have attendees from all over. We have a family that drives in every day from Boardman. Another family that drives in every day from the west of Amherst. And I have grandparents who are flying their kids in from states all over. And I will tell you that at Lake County, I had a lady who actually flew in from Texas to volunteer to walk the camp because she had heard so much about it. Now I'm going to tell you what she said, but please don't think I'm telling you this because I want to be prideful. Because the truth is I want to be humble. This is not my camp. This is truly God's camp. But she said to me, she said, I've been to 2 patriot camps before. She said, yours is far better, and yours is the only one that teaches the truth. So I'm so honored to be able to present these what we call young patriots to you, because they have become American patriots. So let's do a couple of other tests, and then I'm going to ask you to sing. Can we do that? So when they were signing their Declaration of Independence, there's a real downtime, and I'm not one for wasting time. So I brought in Thomas Jefferson's French tutor, and she taught your children to say something in French. So, time travelers, I do not have Mademoiselle Catherine here, so you're going to have to suffer with me. I will just count to 1, 2, and 3, and then I want you to say your verse in French. Are you ready? Yes. Wait a minute, that sounds pretty weak. Are you ready? Perfect. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. If you need an interpreter, that's God Bless America. So, all right. We talked a lot about the form of government that we have. Children, time travelers, are we a democracy?
No!
Are we a republic?
No!
So if we're not a democracy and we're not a republic, what exactly are we?
We're constitutional republic!
Not quite in unison, but constitutional republic. And they understand that we are a country of law, not a country run by man, which is a big difference. They spent time with King George III, and they weren't really fond of him. He took all their money. So we talked about 3 kinds of people in this world. Are you a sheep?
No!
Well, then are you a wolf?
No!
Then what are you?
A sheepdog!
Quiet sheepdogs?
I
Woof, 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 woof. They also learned the difference between equity, which they're now hearing, I'm told, in your time, and equality. Some of them had to learn it the hard way. They were asked to volunteer to do jumping jacks or push-ups. Those who refused and sat down, that was their choice. But then Thomas Jefferson rewarded those who worked. Rewarded them with a handful of candy. And those who didn't work were like, whoa, 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 where's my candy? Well, you didn't work. You don't get rewarded. So we let them suffer for a little while. And then we said to them, Americans are generous people. And so those who are here that received a reward, they might share their reward with you. And of course they always did, which was a wonderful thing.
ate mine.
All right.
I'm trying to choke it out, okay, guys?
So following, I'm going to share a couple quotes with you, and I'm going to share a couple at the end. But children, time travelers, remember? So Samuel Adams said, well, if people are virtuous, they will be invincible. They can't be subdued. But once they lose their virtue, they will surrender their liberties to the first internal or external invader. I hope you'll give that some serious consideration. George Washington said, of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. So, we have with us Sir Robert, not over just having your money taken away by King George III, but generally by adults. adults who hear them sing, and adults who see them sign their Declaration of Independence. It's quite moving. And our request to you is, please, be the role model they need. Keep this passion that is now ignited in their hearts alive, so that they may fulfill their purpose in keeping America free. Because we have two great leaders, and I'm going to read to you these last two quotes. When I'm done with this, you will come to pick up your children. And there's a bag with their name on it that they will be handed, but they were not allowed to run out to you. So please don't be offended, but they need to stay in place so that we know they go to the right people. Security has always been something that we highly value. So John Jay, one of our founding fathers, he echoed what I just said to you. It is the responsibility of every citizen to read and study the Constitution so that we will know our rights and be better prepared to defend and assert them. There are many constitutional classes out there. I hope you will take advantage of some of them. But this last quote really kind of cuts it to the core. For John Adams, our second president and a signer of our Declaration of Independence, he says, posterity, with an exclamation point. You will never know how much it cost the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it. If you do not, I shall repent in heaven that I ever took half the pains to preserve it. Let us not have anyone repenting in heaven over giving this land to us. This land is God's land. These children are God's children. And we will unite together, as Benjamin Franklin said, so that we will stand strong, because they know already that government too big is wrong. So God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. Thank you for this privilege. We have 50 stars up there instead of our 13 colonies.